All right. All right, let's go ahead and we'll open it up with questions on Zoom, and then we'll come to some in the room. Percy, start us out, and then we'll
Can
go.
we get a box score?
In the room, you can, yes.
Hey, Skylar, after that first shot, what it was like, I guess less than 2 minutes into the game, and you just hit that shot from the corner there. Did you know at that point that your shot was on?
I just shot the ball, Percy. I just shot it. I don't know. I don't base it off one shot. I feel like the next one is always going in for me.
And then just for like this type of game, for like you two, like kind of for like you guys to kind of push this team, it was a 5-point game in that fourth quarter. Just what happened there in that fourth quarter?
Mental mistakes, and that's the most frustrating part about it, is that we hung with them. We had great energy, but came down to just jogging back on defense, first of all, and transition, things that we can absolutely control. So that's what makes this one frustrating.
There you go. Thank you, guys.
Jeff Brown, and then we'll take some questions in the room.
Yeah, first for Skylar. They between the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth, they went on a 17-2 run. Outside of maybe some turnovers, what kind of was happening there?
When was this?
Between the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth.
Transition. I thought we lost them a few times. Transition defense wise, we let they got some threes off, back-to-back threes. You know, we're a team that usually prides ourselves on getting out and wanting to get out in a fast break, and we lost 19-2 tonight. It's like it's frustrating as hell. It's frustrating as hell. Those are things that we can control. Sprinting back, it's effort, activity things. Defensively, I wasn't even mad tonight. Defensively, outside of transition defense, 19-2. That's where we lost the game, and it was that stretch. I didn't know it was as bad as 17-2. But I do remember some transition buckets that they got, and that's an effort thing by us. We didn't do a good job of matching up. We know they're all capable, and we were kind of buddy running instead of just everybody just scrambling and getting somebody until we're able to switch back on the second side. But they pushed the ball in transition. Offensively, we didn't get them to fall for a stretch there, and they took advantage of it. This is the #1 damn team in the league. Like, you cannot make like that, you know what I'm saying? And so anytime we make mistakes, like 4 turnovers for me is way too many damn turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we make mistakes like that, they're going to capitalize off of them. And so give them credit on that. I thought we did a good job on Brianna Stewart. I thought we did a good job on Sabrina. And, you know, it really was the others for them tonight. John Quill got going early. You know, Benijah hit a few. They got to the free throw line and knocked theirs down. We shot 6 fucking free throws. You know? They shot 13 free.
Gabby, so between this game and the last game you played against New York, that one was more of a higher paced, high scoring. They scored 98 in that game. You guys scored in the mid 80s. This one, both you guys score under 80. Do you think this type of game, this type of pace maybe is better to counter New York?
Yeah, keep them from scoring more points. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like just like the pace of the style, right? One's a 100-point game, the other's sub 80.
Yeah. So, yeah, we want to defensively. That first game was awful from us. I think it was a lot of offensive rebounds, so we tried to emphasize on that.
Yeah.
We didn't get going really, especially in the fourth quarter. We didn't get into our flow offensively today, and I think that hurt us. And then, but we cracked down on them. We made a lot of adjustments on Sabrina and Stewie, and I think we did well on them. But like Skylar said, it's the others that we have to control as well. But in any situation, I think we are a defensive team. I think that is our identity. So yeah, we do like games like this, but we just have to get going on the offensive end as well.
Awesome. Gabby, Skylar, thank you so much.
Let me take one more from the Zoom. Bella, go ahead, and then we'll come to the room.
Hey guys, thanks for the time. For either of you, you know, the last New York game, it was pretty easy to identify the rebounds as an issue and what made the difference. What would you say made the difference today? Was it the mental mistakes you mentioned, just your shots maybe not falling as much? What was that?
19-2 transition, 12-6 threes made. 11 made free throws to 4 made free throws. I would say that was the difference.
Thanks.
Sorry, I was not being facetious either. I was really being serious about that. As simple as that. Like 19-2, we lost it there. got out rebounded 38-33. Not gonna win a lot of games in this league getting out rebounded. Free throw that and then they made 12 threes.
No, I appreciate the answer. Thank you.
Thanks, Valen. Doug, go ahead.
Just for both of you, I know it's one game at a time, but big picture, you're in a good spot for the playoffs. You already clinched it, but what's it gonna take to get over Vegas, get that 4 seed in the last couple of weeks?
We gotta be close to perfect now. We gotta be close to perfect, but I've only been here a couple of weeks, but I know this program, I know these players, and I think we are better under pressure. I think we're gonna rise to the occasion. But yeah, the mental lapses that we had today can't happen again in order for us to be in a position that we want to be.
With how both of you are title-winning players, every loss is frustrating. With you, Skylar, compared to last Friday against them, with how you closed the rebounding gap and had lead against them even more than in the last game, you feel that next time you see them in the playoffs that you have the formula, that if you cut off the mental mistakes or any mistakes against them, that you can be able to overcome them. And Gabby, you had 17 tonight, as well as your defense. You feel even more that you're even getting more comfortable with the rhythm of the team and being back in the W.
Yeah, I definitely forgot the first part of your question.
Just-
Sorry about that.
Just compared to the frustration on Friday.
Same frustration we lost. There's
Exactly.
no moral victories. You know, I don't have any moral victories. Yeah, I think we did some things well. But I also think, you know, we lost the game, so we obviously made some mistakes there. But yeah, I mean, it's an improvement. But I'm not negative about it. But I'm not just kind of be like, yay, we stuck with the #1 team in the league. Like ultimately, our goal is to compete for a championship, and we have to raise our level of play. I think Gabby, this is who Gabby is. This is who she's been. This is who she will be for us. You know, this is who we need her to be. This is what she's capable of. Like this level of play. She's been playing at this level all year and for years. And, you know, it's carrying over now. And that's exactly what we've been missing. Her intensity defensively, her attention to detail, her basketball IQ, and then her ability to attack. We saw it all today and the last few games, to be honest. And she's a great addition to our team.
Got about 3 minutes left.
You know, you guys spoke about some things you did positively, you know, holding Sabrina a little bit tonight. Understanding that she's, you know, you're going up against, that's your matchup, one of the best guards in the league. You played tonight with a ton of energy. Did you embrace taking on that challenge tonight? And at any point was this game, you know, kind of a point to prove for you guys?
Absolutely. Like Skylar said, our goal is to compete for a championship. So we have to like want those challenges. We want to have those every day because that's what we're preparing for. So of course we embrace it. That's again why this is so frustrating, because we kind of like accomplished a lot of goals tonight, but then things that we normally do well, we didn't do well at all. So it's just about tweaking those things. But yeah, this is the level that we want to be at, that we want to compete at, because that's what our goals are for this season.
Stewie had 230 point games back to back before coming into this matchup. You guys helped her 2 for 11 at the beginning of the fourth. Was that the plan coming into the game, to be aggressive defensively against Stewie? And you said a little bit about the others. What's a positive you can take away from this game on how to control those, or how to make those adjustments when it comes to others?
Well, everybody's a pro.
Yeah. When we say others, we're
Like,
talking about
I just mean, like,
Nisha,
not those
Jonquil,
two.
like
You're still talking about all-stars. You're
Yeah.
talking about MVP, all-star, you know, I mean, shit, you're talking about great shooters. And so, yes, a lot of talent on this team. Sorry, I didn't know what my, like, you get what I'm saying? You know, I'm sorry, I was just like, yes, they're #1 for a reason. They got 28 wins and single-digit losses. Nobody else has that this year. So when I say the others, I mean that very respectfully.
yeah.
I mean, other than them, you know what I'm saying? But at any time, anybody could get 20. They're capable of it. Like I said, defensively, I thought we did some good things. The threes in transition really hurt us.
We got one last question over here.
First of all, sorry to go your way tonight. Gabby, my first one's for you. Congratulations on your 1,000 career points. I know points is something that you really look at as being a really unselfish player who can do a lot, but you play a different role. Can you just talk about how it's been, transitioning after coming back, after taking some time off? And then my last one for Skylar. Skylar, after pretty, you had a boisterous press conference. I forget which game it was, but after that conversation that you had it seems like the team really like the play really stepped up, especially your offensive play. Just want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's always nice to have these kinds of accomplishments, especially in a league. This is the best league in the world, so it's nice to, I don't know, have that behind me. Would have been a lot more fun if we would have gotten the win tonight, but just super happy to be here and have teammates and a staff that has this much confidence in me. And everyone has just been like, even when I started slow, everyone has just been really like, keep going, keep being you, and it's made my transition really easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the dramatic one. I'm the anal one. I'm the one that's bothered all the time. I'm the elevated one. I'm in a locker room with a lot of cool chicks. You know what I'm saying? And so I know me. I know people don't like the antics. The message is right there. It's how we do things that bother me sometimes. And because I know what's in that locker room. I know what we work on, and I see it in spurts. And I just want us to put it together on both sides for 40 minutes. And I guess that's why I'm optimistic about it, because we have not painted that masterpiece yet, and I've said that, and the time is now to do it. Like you said, 6 games, everybody fighting for position, everybody's fighting for something. I've been on teams that have been out of playoffs by now. I've been on teams that are still fighting for position. I've been on teams that had nothing to play for but wanted to mess up somebody else's season. I've been on every type of team. I have not been on a team with this much talent. And so I want to maximize that this year. And I know I get frustrated when I don't fulfill my part like I want to. I'm very positive, very optimistic about this team. The frustrating part is knowing how much we have in there when we don't play to our full potential. And everybody, it's no shame losing to anybody in this league. But you know, you want to put your best out there. And I don't feel like we've done that yet. But credit to them tonight, you know, for the fourth quarter, finishing off in the fourth quarter. And, you know, we just got to get ready to go back home and take care of business. But if we want to compete for a championship, we have to be a better team on the road.
All right, that's all the time we got. Thank you, ladies. So, we'll go ahead and start with Percy, and then Jeff, and then we'll go to Christian, take some questions from the room.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, there's no such thing as a more victory, but just what did you see in your team's performance tonight that was different from last Friday's? I don't know what the score was. That lost there in Seattle.
Defensive effort. I thought that we were very physical. I thought that we were mindful of the schemes and executing that. Early on in the game, the offensive rebounding still wasn't as, their offensive rebounding was an issue, but I thought that we locked into that. But overall, to keep the number 1 team to 77 points at one point, I feel like we were just kind of battling out defensively. I'm proud of our effort.
It was a 5-point game there late in the fourth. Then you guys then Stewie then hit 2 shots there to get some separation. Just what happened during that period of just not being able to kind of keep pace with them down the stretch?
I don't remember. I have to take a look at the film. I know even prior to that, our transition defense, we just kind of got lost and got some open shots. I thought her tough and one, if I remember, her and one was pretty tough. It was just a matter of, I feel like, momentum and, you know, not great offensive execution and them kind of running with some pace. But overall, I thought we did a very good job defensively.
And if I can get your thoughts on Skylar, particularly how she's played since returning from the Olympic break tonight. She had the big night from 3, but since the Olympic break, we've seen her really step up in her first year with the Storm.
She took maybe a few days off, if that, during break, and she was locked into wanting to feel comfortable, wanting to be better for the team, wanting to be, you know, who she wants to be. And so she worked a ton on her shooting, her mindset. She's in the weight room all the time, getting her body to where she wanted it to be. And you're seeing the dividends of that. That investment is paying off at this moment. She's a hard worker, and now you see some comfort in you know, her 3-ball tonight, but the way she's been playmaking, the way she's getting downhill and finishing around the paint. These are all things that we're used to seeing at a high level, you know, throughout her career. And now she's finding some comfort with it and stringing along some really good games.
There you go. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Percy. Jeff, go ahead, and then Christian.
Yeah, first, Coach, I was wondering, between last game against New York, where they scored 98 and you guys scored in the mid 80s, versus today, which was kind of a slower pace, more defensive battle, do you think this game is maybe your better like chance against New York, like the style of play?
Depending on if our defense remains this physical and committed to what we have to commit to when we're playing New York. Points in the paint. I know we talk about the threes, and I don't think that we can combat that. But if you look at their 26 points in the paint, if you look at how they perform when their points in the paint aren't as high, I think this is a key stat. So the physicality nets that. I think that gives us a chance. Now, do we have to be better with certain parts of the game, transition defense, making sure we're matched up, not giving them open looks? Yes. But I think if we're hanging our head on defense and we are able to get stops, I think that we give ourselves a good opportunity to win games.
And in this game, Jewel had she had 6 points and less than 10 shots, which is kind of unusual. Is that anything New York was doing, or is it more, obviously Gabby really had it going and Skylar, so is it more about that?
Yeah, I think it's more about that. Sometimes the game lens, finding the hot hand, especially, when we think about who was guarding Gabby and trying to attack that matchup. So I think, having Gabby kind of find a groove and find some rhythm. Obviously, those are shots that other players aren't getting, but it was good to see Gabby in a rhythm. And I know, we'll get Jewel back on track with our next opponent.
And Skylar just mentioned right before she left that you guys accomplished a lot of the goals that you wanted to, but then she was a little frustrated because maybe other things didn't get done. What were some of those goals that were happy about with this game?
Keeping them below their points in the paint average. So that was one. We didn't win the rebounding battle, but the 45-17 didn't happen. Making sure that, it was a scheme goal to make sure we're physical and into bodies. And I thought that we did that for majority of the game without being disconnected from their shooters. And can't tell you the rest of our scout, but those things happened today, and it gave us a chance.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Coach. Safe flights back home. I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff. And let's go to Christian, and then we'll take some questions here in the room.
Hey, Coach, you were talking just about New York's efficiency in the paint, but throughout most of the game, they only had like a handful of shots directly at the rim. But really, everywhere outside of that, they shot about 44% from 4 to 14 and around like 40, I think, from 3. But also the ample amount of shots that they had from that area, though, was just kind of the breakdown, because everything else as far as the defensive plan was kind of solid up until like the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, when you're doing the coverage that we showed today, you got to live with contested twos off the dribble. You got to live with that, and so that was the plan, to live with long contested twos. We have to do a better job of defending the 3-point line, and I think those were coming with breakdowns more so than those two. So yeah, when we're aggressive and into bodies, where the reality of it is those shots are going to be available, and we have to live with that. They shot 38%. I don't know what they usually shoot overall, their twos, but if you look at their twos, you said they're shooting 44%, but that's the toughest shot in basketball, and that's what we're going to give up.
And as far as kind of just overall surviving that 20-4 run, going from the third into the latter part of the fourth, yeah, I know it's not pretty, but I know they're also no moral victory. But knowing that you kind of held them almost 20 points less than the previous meeting, that's something that you kind of like, pat yourself on the shoulder for, because that's a tall task on how talented this team is.
Yeah, it's a tall task with the number one team on the road, and I thought that we were very focused and locked into that. there is, I talked about it a few days ago, this want to, this yearning for, this need to, that urgency, I feel like is there. Now we have to now find ways to score the basketball, but if we can have the defensive mindset and effort that we have, again, we'll give ourselves a chance to be in games.
Thanks, Coach.
Of course.
Doug, do you have a question?
Sure. I can
Go ahead.
something. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Coach, Sky was saying how they're so dangerous because it's not just Stewie and Sav. I mean, you shut them down to Stewie 1.5. I'm guessing you go locker room. Okay, we did a great job, yet you're still down. How dangerous is the team that they seem more in sync this year and just the chemistry's better? And there are 5 people who can score. And
Yeah.
a couple probably off the bench that can also score for the community.
Yeah, they're very dangerous because, like you said, everyone has the capability to score, but also they're long and they present a lot of matchup problems. If you think about Phoebich on the wing, her ability to post up, but also you can contest her at a high championship level contest, and she's shooting over you at an efficient rate. So they have a lot of you throw. I know Thornton isn't playing a ton, but you throw her in the mix. She's a vet. She can play D. They're very deadly in a lot of ways, and you got to think about the amount of reps that they've had from one season to the next. The chemistry, the feel that they have for one another. They're very in sync, and I talked about this the first time we played. I feel like they're in form that early in the season. So look at what they're doing now. They're able to sustain that, but you look at that roster. Everybody is a threat. Everybody, So, but kudos to us, to being very locked in and staying the course and making this game competitive.
Coach, just want to ask you, after this road trip against these 2 top teams who are long, physical, do you feel even more strong about your team in terms of the lessons that you learned getting that victory over Connecticut in the middle game, where if you see these 2 teams in the playoffs, how dangerous your squad is, that could be something different there, and you guys ended up on top?
Yeah, for sure. We learned a lot on this road trip. You think about from the one game to the next game with Connecticut, the adjustments that we had to make and how the team executed those adjustments. You think about just playing New York a few days ago and coming and making the adjustments that we did and able to execute. Now we just have to continue on this level of focus and intentionality behind what we do. Because it's going to come into play in the playoffs. The reps that we continue to get with one another, with this particular team and this particular season, is going to be very valuable. And so to get those, that feel of it is going to give us confidence and familiarity when we see it again.
Time for one more. Percy, go ahead and we'll wrap up.
Hey, Coach. I know that on Tuesday, it was Sadie's who gave you really good minutes there against the Sun. But in the past 3 games, you've gotten just 15 points from your bench. Is that a concern? And if so, how can you coax more scoring from your reserves?
Can I ever get a positive question from you first? What's up? You started the day. Started the day like that. All right, our bench. I'm not concerned. They're pros. Every game is different because of matchups. So, I thought Tori, I kind of used it a little bit more in this game because they went small ball a little bit. But I believe in my bench. I believe in their capabilities. But it just every game lends something different. We're getting to the point of the season, end of the season, playoffs, rotations get tight anyway. So it's just a matter of staying sharp, staying locked in, and when the opportunity comes, I know that they will take advantage of that, but concern, no. Just gotta keep them confident, stay positive with it, and I know that we'll be better for it.
There you go. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Have a safe trip back. Yeah.
I appreciate it.